Hey you guys, welcome to Fusion! Hope you guys have had a really great week. This is our fourth and final week talking all about peace, and I'm sure this month you've had lots of opportunities to be peacemakers in your families. Do you guys remember what peace is? Peace is caring more about each other than about winning an argument. Let's say that together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Peace is proving you care more about each other than winning an argument. Isn't that the way we all want to be treated? I know I do. I'd rather have people who are willing to build a bridge of peace towards me than to stay very far apart because they're angry or they're offended or maybe they're really hurt. Well, we're going to talk a little bit more about that in our Bible story today. But before we get there, I've got a game that we're going to play. It's right behind me here. I asked my nephew Warren, who was brave and who's willing to lay it all on the line to try and help Captain America cross that bridge. Hey buddy, thanks for helping us today. Okay, first I need you to toss me that Captain America.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Here he is. We got him now. I'm gonna set him here. All right, can you see these little stepping stones? We've had bridges all week long. Talking about bridges, haven't we? Building peace. Well, in order for Captain America to get across this bridge, I need Warren to drink one of these red cups and he'll take a step. Does that sound hard? Well, it might not be, except Warren doesn't know what's in the cups. Only I know what's in the cups. So if he chooses to drink them, then Captain America gets to take a step. So let's try our first cup. Warren, what number do you want to pick? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
3. I'm gonna go 3.
Number 3. Okay, good pick. This one is 7-Up, so he'll probably like it, but he doesn't know that. Let's see. Here you go, buddy.
Cross that bridge! Woo!
Cross that bridge. Okay, here he goes, taking this first step. He's on the stone. Okay, what's your next choice?
I'll take 4. I like 4. I trust in 4.
Number 4. This one is applesauce. Let's see how he does. Hey bud, here you go.
Oh, sure, guys.
Yeah.
Cross that bridge! Woo!
Well, that one was a little bit harder to get down, wasn't it? But way to go, bud, you did it. So Captain America gets to take one more step on the bridge. 2 more to go. Let's see if we can make it across. There he is. I'll turn him to face you. Woo! What's your next pick, Warren? 1 or 2 left?
2. I'm gonna go 2. I'm nervous.
This is another very, very good choice. It's orange juice. Here you go, bud.
That's good. Cross that bridge!
Take another step. Captain America, he's almost there. There is 1 more to go. If Warren chooses to drink this last one, then Captain America has successfully crossed the bridge. You want to know what this one is? You could smell it if you were close here, and you know exactly what it is. This one is pickle juice. Okay, last one.
Cross that bridge!
Cross that bridge! He made it all the way to the other side. Now, I was wondering how pickle juice was so easy for Warren to drink, and he said that one of his favorite hockey players drinks pickle juice when he's in the penalty box because it helps with cramps. So we tried it one time. It's not even a big deal to him. I was very surprised. Thanks so much, Warren, for helping us out today.
You're welcome. See you later.
Well, thanks to Warren's bravery and your guys' helpful support cheering him on, Captain America crossed the bridge. Way to go, guys. Now we're gonna head over to Amber, and she's gonna lead us in a dance so that we can praise the Lord in the way that we dance. And then we're gonna get to the Bible story. That's it for me this week, and that's all for peace. Stay tuned next week for our brand new theme month, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Hey everyone, we've got another great story for you today. It's about a brave, strong, and very smart woman named Abigail. Abigail had to decide if she could make peace in the midst of a pretty tough situation. Now, our story takes place when David is in line to be king, but he's not king yet. King Saul is the one that rules over all of God's people. But King Saul is very jealous of David, and poor David had to live on the run for his life so he didn't get caught by King Saul. Now, this is where our story picks up with Abigail. Take a look.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 25.
God had promised David would be king, but for now, King Saul ruled Israel. David lived his life on the run, followed by a group of misfits who had become friends and servants. One day, they arrived in the desert of Paran, near the land of a wealthy man named Nabal, who owned 3,000 sheep.
We'll set up camp here, man.
At first, Nabal's servants didn't know what to think.
Too many strangers around these parts. We've had food and sheep go missing.
But David's men were honorable. They didn't try to steal from the shepherds. In fact, David protected Nabal's shepherds from any harm.
Stay as long as you like, my friend.
About time for sheep shearing, isn't it?
Oh, yes. Nabal will hold a grand feast when it's all over. Your men have helped us, so they should share in the celebration.
David called for 10 of his men and gave them a message to send to Nabal.
On it.
David's messengers hurried up the mountain to Nabal's estate and were brought to stand before him.
Well, what do you want?
Nabal sneered down at the men while he continued to chew on a fine leg of mutton.
David says, may you live long, may things go well with you.
Continue.
He says, I hear that you are clipping the wool off your sheep. When your shepherds were with us, we treated them well and protected them. Now please be kind to my men. Please give us any food you can find for us.
Nabal leapt from his seat and hurled the mutton bone across the room.
Who is this David? Probably a runaway servant. Why should I give bread and meat to a nobody and his men who come from who knows where?
David's men returned to camp and delivered the news.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Oh, yes, he did.
Men, put on your swords. We'll make Nabal wish he hadn't.
At no time at all, David and 400 of his men were marching up the mountain to confront Nabal. It seemed there was no stopping a battle. But Nabal's wife, Abigail, was far wiser than her husband. A servant told her what he had done.
David sent messengers asking for food, but Nabal shouted and was rude to them.
Go on.
The whole time we were near them, David's men were good to us. They were like a wall, keeping us safe. You've got to do something now, or terrible trouble will come.
There's no time to waste.
Abigail quickly directed her servants to gather supplies and put them on donkeys.
200 loaves of bread.
Check.
5 sheep.
Check.
1 bushel of cooked grain.
Check.
100 cakes of raisins and 200 cakes of figs.
Check. And check.
Well, you go on ahead. I'll follow.
The donkeys, loaded with good food, started down the mountain. Abigail got on her donkey and followed. From the valley, David and his men were approaching.
Everything we've done has been worthless. I watched over this fellow's property, but he's paid me back evil for good. We'll wipe him out.
As David's anger grew, though, he spotted something along the path. A pack of donkeys.
What's this?
It looks like they're carrying something. Food for a feast, I'd say.
Behind the pack of donkeys, Abigail prepared for what lay ahead.
I must stop this.
The moment Abigail saw David, she slid off her donkey and fell face down on the ground before his feet.
Please, let me speak. Let me take the blame for Nabal's actions.
Abigail raised her eyes just enough to notice David's surprised face. He nodded.
Don't pay attention to Nabal. He's always doing foolish things. I'm sorry I didn't get to see your messengers, but I've brought a gift for you. Right now, the Lord has kept you from killing Nabal and his men. Let the Lord deal with your enemies.
Abigail rose to her feet. David and his men listened, surprised by the strength of her message.
You fight the Lord's battles, so he will give your family line a kingdom that will last. He'll make you ruler of Israel. And when he does, you won't have a heavy load on your mind about killing people with no reason. The Lord will give you success. When that happens, please remember me.
Abigail took a deep breath and waited. David smiled.
Give praise to the Lord. He sent you to find me. May he bless you for this. You have kept me from using my own hands to get even.
David's men unloaded the food that Abigail had brought.
Go home in peace. I'll do what you have asked.
Abigail made her way back up the hillside to her home. She had chosen to humble herself and do the hard yet creative work of making peace. In the end, Nabal paid the high price for his foolish anger, but God blessed Abigail.
In the end, Nabal died. He paid a very high price for this foolish and angry response toward David. But God blessed Abigail. She chose to humble herself and do the hard work of making peace. Abigail understood that you can show you care about others by being a part of the solution. Let's say that together. 3, 2, 1. You can show you care about others by being part of the solution. Abigail wasn't the one who caused the problem. She wasn't even the one involved in the fight. But she got involved to make peace. She chose to be part of the solution. It might be easier to stay out of someone else's problem. And you know what? There are times when that is the wisest thing to do. But you never know when God might use you to be part of the solution. He has given you a heart that cares for people and a very creative and wise mind to help you with some ideas to be part of a solution. Okay, I've got some scenarios for us to go through together and 3 options that could be about making peace. Let's see if you can choose which ones that will bring a solution to the problem. Okay, take a look. Scenario 1. You and your friends start to argue over whose turn it is to play on the swings at recess. Which option could be making peace and being part of the solution? Option A. Walk away and find someone else to play with. Option B. Be brave and suggest they all take turns together. Or option C. Ask if they want to play soccer with you instead of playing on the swings. Do any of these solutions seem like ways that will be part of the solution? We think that either B or C would be great examples of making peace and being part of the solution. Let's try the next one. Scenario 2. You overhear some classmates saying something mean about someone else in your class. Which options could be making peace and being part of the solution? Option A. Take a moment to stick up for them by saying something nice about them. Or option B. Pretend you didn't hear it. Or option C. Jump right into the conversation and talk about how you notice the same thing. I bet this happens a lot at school, and I bet it's a lot easier to choose options B and C. But if we want to be part of the solution, we should choose option A and say something nice about that person. Okay, let's do one more before we head over to Alana. You guys are on a roll. Scenario 3. You hear your brother and sister fighting with each other over who gets to use the iPad. Which options do you think would be about making peace and being part of the solution? Option A. Ask if they want to come and play with you instead. Option B. Let an adult know. It scares you when they're fighting. And option C. Suggest they take turns with a time limit. That would be fair. This one is tricky. Did you have a hard time choosing? That's probably because they are all great examples of making peace and offering solutions to help. Great job, everybody. Continue to look for ways where you can bring peace by being part of the solution, just like Abigail. Let's take a moment and talk to God and ask Him to help us. Dear God, thank you for the story of Abigail and for the reminder that we can be a part of the solution. Help us look for ways that we can make peace and show the people in our lives that we care about them. We love you. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, now off to Alana to see what fun at-home challenge she has for us. Have a great week and we'll see you next time.
Hey everyone, do I have a fun at-home challenge for you? Today, we are going to see if these cups will hold me up when I stand on them. Do you think that 9 cups will be able to hold me up? This week's at-home challenge is called Standing on Cups. Here's what you'll need for this challenge. You'll need 9 to 12 plastic or paper cups, a cookie pan, or a piece of cardboard that will fit over top of 9 cups in a square formation. Okay, let's zoom in and I'll show you how this challenge works. Alright, to start, you're going to take 2 cups and set them on the floor. Then you're going to see if they can hold you up. Do you think these 2 cups will hold me up without breaking? Let's see. Next, it's probably best to do this with shoes, but I'm just going to use my bare feet. See if you can stand on the cups without breaking. Well, that didn't work. The 2 cups couldn't hold my weight. Let's try something else. This time, you're going to take 9 cups and you're going to set them in a 9-cup array. 3 along the top, and then continue to make rows of 3. Now, make sure your cups are really tight together. Then, take your cookie sheet and place it on top. Now, try to stand on it. See what happens. Do you think it will hold me up? Look, it holds me up, and the cups aren't breaking under my weight. Let's double check to see what happened. Look, my cups hardly broke under all that weight. They were able to support me. Wasn't it amazing that when I put the 9 cups together and the cookie sheet on top, it was able to hold my weight? You know, that got me thinking about how there'll be times when you'll be around people who don't get along. And you know what? God can use you to be part of the solution. You could be like a bridge that helps make peace and brings people together. You can encourage that person who's mean or rude to be kind instead. You can encourage the person who isn't sharing to share. And if the problem's too big for you, you can ask an adult for help. This week, remember that you can show you care to others by being part of the solution. Well, have fun trying this challenge at home, and we'll see you next week on Fusion at Home.